In the name of Allah, have you ever noticed that the summers are getting hotter every year in Croatia? It is not just a weather, it is called global warming. Today we have presentation and our title is about global warming. But before I start everything, I want to introduce my teammates, Mr. Mahdi, Ms. Saliha, Ms. Farishta, and Ms. Mani. They are also going to participate in this presentation. So, first of all, I will introduce our title. I will explain it, that what it is, and secondly, I will talk about its causes. So, global warming is a heat that increases day by day in the earth. It is mostly created by burning of fossil fuels in industries, factories, and many more areas. Also, it has some more causes that I will explain in my next points. And global warming has many big effects in our daily life. Like it can high the level, it can increase the sea level, it can make the humans sick. It can have many side effects for the humans. Researches shows that in the last century, the last decade was the hottest decade that we have ever faced, and because of that, 1.1 centigrade the temperature of the Earth has increased from 1.1 centigrade to 1.5 centigrade, and that number is a very small number for us, but that can make the Earth fire, like you can see in that picture. It can have big impacts in our society. Global warming is caused by it has many causes, and the first and the most important cause is greenhouse effect and carbon dioxide gases. Greenhouse effect, you might have a question what it is. Greenhouse is called carbon dioxide gas. When the industries burn fossil fuels to produce energy or to turn on heavy machines for their works, then a very black and thick smoke comes out of that burning of fossil fuels, and that has a lot of heat and carbon dioxide inside. And as you can see in this picture, these factories are running fossil fuels, and this layer is made, and it is carbon dioxide and many more gases, and the most gas in here it is carbon dioxide. And when the sun's heat comes from till the earth, and it doesn't let the heat go back to the space, because it has covered the earth from every side. And every year it is getting thicker and thicker because we use a lot of fossil fuels. We burn a lot of fossil fuels and these things. And the second cause is deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down of trees. It is clear that when we cut down the trees that absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, there will be nothing more to absorb carbon dioxide. Because nowadays most of the people cut the trees to make houses or to make farms for their animals. And if we cut down the trees, as I said, there will be nothing more to absorb carbon dioxide, and like that the level of carbon dioxide will increase in our society, and that will increase the level of global warming as well. And our third cause is fuel engines. Fuel engines as well use diesel and petrol in themselves, and that produces a very dark and thick smoke, and it produces a lot of heat and carbon dioxide gas, especially the engines that are used in cars and trucks. They need a lot of power. They put a lot of power on the engines, and the engine burns petrol and diesel, and the thick dark smoke comes out, as you can see in this picture. You can see that there are cars in a traffic jam, and that amount of smoke is there. And imagine what will happen if there is a traffic jam of trucks. Then the whole weather will be polluted and destroyed. And our last cause is air conditioners and refrigerators. air conditioners and refrigerators that we use in our houses. Most of us have these things in our houses. And air conditioners, the compressors, air conditioners and refrigerators, they have compressors. And the compressor produce a lot of carbon dioxide gas, and that's why they inside the room the weather is so cold. For air conditioners, the main cooler is inside our rooms, and the compressor is outside. When you go in front of the compressor and bring your hand in front of that, then that will produce a lot of heat and carbon dioxide gas. And the refrigerator, as you can see, is the back of refrigerator. There are different kinds of wires, and the heat, this compressor of it produce the heat, and it goes to dizzy. And if you touch the back of the refrigerator, that will instantly burn your hand. And that's why we are increasing the level of global warming. My points are finished, and the next points will be presented by my teammates. And if you have any kinds of question, I will answer.
Hello everyone, my name is Saliha and I'm the second presenter. Sajjad told you what global warming is and what causes global warming. Now I will continue with the next point, which is impacts of global warming. Global warming affects almost every part of our planet. As the Earth's temperature continues to increase, the Earth doesn't stay quiet. It causes many environmental, social, and economical problems, which are already visible around the world. The first impact is more extreme weather, which means the temperature increases more often. For example, now we have more heat waves. A heat wave is when temperature stays in a high level for many days. This is how our heat wave looks like. Last summer in Quetta and some other parts of Balochistan, we had weeks of 44 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius. In that time, people couldn't go outside easily, work outside easily, and most of these schools were closed because of the heat wave. Now, please look at these two pictures. What do you think? What is the relationship between these two pictures? Do you have any idea? Don't you have any idea? It's okay, I'll explain. These two pictures are directly linked to water crisis, the second impact. Water crisis means flood and droughts. Because of heat, the snow which is on mountains melts too fast. When snow melts too fast, first rivers get a lot of water, which cause sudden flood in nearby villages. After the flood and snow are gone, there will be less water left for the whole year. This caused the drought. This impact of global warming affects Balochistan a lot, because Balochistan already has less water than other provinces. Imagine what will happen if the amounts of droughts increase in Balochistan. First, our dams like Mirani Dam will have less water or can even become empty. And the farmers will not have enough water for the crops. The third impact is food and economical problems. Food and economy. These two are directly linked together, because all crops need the right weather or season to grow well. For example, wheat needs cool weather. Apples need cold winters and right amount of rain. But now it is becoming kind of impossible, because the weather and seasons have become abnormal. Sometimes it becomes hot too early. Sometimes it rains when it doesn't have to, or sometimes it doesn't rain when it has to. This can fail many crops. When the crops fail, farmers lose their income. But it isn't just farmers who suffer from this. There are many other people too. Because when crops fail, there will be less food in markets. When there is less food, the prices go high. And when prices go high, The poor people will not be able to afford food, and this can even make them sick. The next point is, the next impact is infrastructure damage. Can you tell me that what is the meaning of infrastructure damage, if you know? Any of you? Okay, it's okay, I'll explain it for you. Infrastructure damage means damage to buildings, roads, and bridges. Extreme heat can melt road tar like this road inside this picture, which can cause many traffic problems and accidents. Also, flood can destroy roads, buildings, and bridges. For example, the 2022 flood in Balochistan destroyed thousands of kilometers of roads, and this is the picture of one of those roads. The next impact of global warming is health problems. It is health problems. Human body isn't made for extreme heat. So when the heat waves happen, people might feel dizzy, weak, headache, and even can faint. Old people and small children, like this child, are in most danger because their bodies are weaker than the bodies of adults. But do not think that this is the only reason that people get sick. There is another reason too. Some people can become unhealthy after flood, because flood is mostly dirty water which can spread different kinds of diseases such as typhoid and skin problems. The next impact is educational problems. When heat waves are severe, the government close most of the schools. This can make the students lose many educational days or study days. The last impact that I have researched about is temperature increase. This is one of the most important impacts that tells us that global warming is really happening. Its first tip is, what is temperature increase? Temperature is the number that shows how hot or cold something or somewhere is. So temperature increase means the weather gets hotter and hotter. Scientists measure average global surface temperature every year, and they have discovered that before year 1800s, the average global surface temperature was about 13.8 degrees Celsius, but now it is 15.3 degrees Celsius, which means 1.5 degrees Celsius is added. This might sound very small for us, but for Earth it isn't. In fact, it is making the Earth sick. The last tip is, why is 1.5 degrees Celsius a red line? Scientists from all over the world agree if Earth becomes 2 degrees Celsius hotter, the impacts will be worse. We will have longer droughts and bigger flood. Now I'm done with my part. If you have any question, I'm here to answer.
This hot weather is for the whole earth or no, for some places?
Global warming?
Yes, global warming.
Global warming affects every part of Earth, but it is not equally. For example, in one place it is, and the level is very high, but in another place it is not very high.
Start.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Today we have presentation, and I'm the third person after Saliha who is going to talk about global warming. So global warming is when the Earth's temperature rising up and higher, and I'm going to talk about two effects of global warming, which is sea level rise and biodiversity loss. The first thing, sea level rise. Sea level rise happens when ice are melting faster than before, and the sea level rise is rising higher, and The first point is melting ice increases. This climate changes causes the ice or caps of ice to melt faster than before, and it is mostly happens in Antarctica and Greenland. For example, ice in Greenland are melting faster than before because of global warming. And the next point is coastal areas get flood. Higher sea levels increases the risk of flood in places near oceans or seas. Yes, and it is mostly happens with people who live near the seas because their homes, farms, and roads are in danger because any floods can happen in any time and it can damage them all. And for example, people who live what can say people of Bangladesh mostly experience flooding because they are living there near a coastal area and it is too dangerous for them to live, so they might relocate from there. And the next point is people may have to leave or move. Some low-lying oceans or areas which are lived by people are mostly very unsafe for people to live in because of flooding. So people may need to relocate from there. And the next point is biodiversity loss. So look at this picture. What can you all understand from this picture?
The animals are dying before global warming. There was a very good forest, and after there is just the remaining of the trees and animals.
And it is because of what?
Global warming.
Yes. So the first point is animals lose their habitat because of global warming. In global warming, it affects forests, oceans, and other natural environment. Like if some animals like polar bears, they are mostly living in Antarctica and they are losing their habitats because they cannot what can say go through the situation, and it causes them to live and lose their habitat. The next point is some species may become extinct. And this is a species, and it is when rising temperature, it mostly make it difficult for some species to find food and drink. And if they could not adapt, they may disappear forever. For example, dinosaurs, you all know about this. It was disappeared because they could not handle the situation on that time because the weather was too hot and there was some other changes and dangerous situation that they could not handle it. And our last point is food chain are affected. It's like this: when there are some species, when they got decreases, when they get decreases, other animals or plants which is also depends on it will also get affected. For example, we have fishes. If the population of fishes gets decrease, and on that time the population of the seabirds which is this fish will also struggle to survive. So now my points are finished, and if you all have any question, you can ask, and I'm here to answer.
And yes,
In the name of Allah, hello and good afternoon everyone. My name is Parishta and I am the fourth presenter of our presentation. And I want to talk about solutions. As my other class fellows discuss about the causes, the impacts, and I'm going to talk about its solution. First of all, what is the first solution? How to decrease global warming? Decreasing global warming is in our people hand. It is not in scientists' hand. Some people are telling like this that we should go and get help from scientists. No, we can do it ourselves, and we can save our air clean and energetic. So, people, if 1 million houses or homes do agriculture or plant more trees every day, they can decrease the level of global warming, and they can make a good future for themselves. The second point is save energy and use less electricity. How? Like here, they told like turn off lights, keep the future bright. Like you should turn the lights off when the lights are not needed. You can turn them off, and when they are needed, you can use them. Like when we have rooms that they are very dark, and you can for them you can use LED lights that they are not very dangerous for global warming. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay.
Okay, hello and good afternoon everybody. I hope you are doing well. I'm Hania Hassani, your today's last presenter. As my other group members talked about global warming's impacts and causes, now I want to continue what Frishta said about the solutions or how can we decrease global warming. The first point is governmental and industrial actions. The first tip is decarbonizing energy. It means that transitioning power grids from fossil fuels like oil, coal and gas to renewable sources like wind, solar and geothermal power. As we all know, burning coal and gas is the number one source of greenhouse gases because when they burn coal and gas, they produce a lot of carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide can have a lot of harm to the earth. While with renewable sources, there would be they don't produce any carbon dioxide. Maybe you think that why does carbon dioxide matters? I'll give you an example. Let's think that this is Earth, and around this Earth there is a blanket. That the blanket's name is carbon dioxide. What does it do? It protects the Earth warm. And if there wasn't this blanket, the Earth would freeze at -80 centigrade. So, from the 1st century till 18th century, this blanket wasn't thick. It was thin. But after 18th century till now, 21st century, this blanket is getting thicker and thicker day by day, and it causes global warming because of the greenhouse gases. When they burn, they produce a lot of carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide can make this blanket thicker. The second tip is electrifying transport. It means that moving away or avoiding those kind of transportation vehicles that they need diesel or gas. For example, there are some cars and trucks or many other transportation vehicles that they need diesel, and when they need diesel, they take out dark smoke from themselves. That is suggested that can be poisonous also, and it can pollute the air also. So, instead of using those kind of transportation, we can also use public transportation. It can be cheap also, and it can be safe also. We can use the metro, subway, buses, and buses. It can also avoid from traffic jam, and if we use public transportation, there would be no traffic jam anymore. The second point is commuting and adaptation actions. The first tip is ecosystem restoration. It means that we should protect from wetlands, peatlands, and forests. We don't have the right, or we are not allowed to cut the trees for our needs. There are some people that they cut trees or destroy the nature for their needs. No, we don't have the right to cut the trees for our needs, because nature is a part of a human's life, and if there wasn't nature, of course, there wasn't human also, because by the help of this nature, we are breathing, and because they produce oxygen, and by the help of oxygen, we are alive. The second one is infrastructure resilience. It means that we should build such kind of things that we should have some benefits to our future. For example, the people of China, Chinese people made a seawall in China. It can protect the coastal cities from a flood. For example, when flood comes, this wall can protect those cities that they are near to seas or beaches. And this wall protects those cities from the flood. In conclusion, I want to say that global warming is real, the causes are clear, and the impacts are already here. This problem caused by humans, and of course, the solution also on humans' hand. We should not use those kind of things that have bad impacts on our earth, air, or even people. So my points are finished. If you have any question, I'm here to answer.
Big hand, please.